You're watching Let the Quran Speak. Now we answer questions we receive from you, our viewers. If you have a question yourself, please visit our website, www.quranspeaks.com. Okay, Brother Shabir. Here's a question from someone who has been watching our YouTube videos for quite some time and is actually a subscriber. And this person looked at our question and answer session about space and also later read an article called A Muslim Astronaut's Dilemma, How to Face Mecca from Space. And so the individual is wondering, how would it be possible if we as human beings were to live away from Earth to be able to pray?
Mm-hmm. By the way, the article can be found online on many sources. It's an interesting read, but it doesn't pose a dilemma at all, like to think about how do we face the Kaaba when we're in outer space. I mean, people may think it's a problem because they've been thinking about the rules in a simplistic manner, like I've been taught it's like this and it must be done like this regardless of any circumstances. No, it's never like that. The Islamic rules are always meant to be practical and feasible and changeable depending on time and circumstances, because there's an overall goal, and that goal may be achieved sometimes in a slightly different way, so long as you keep the original goal in perspective. Well, in this case, there is a goal. There is the Kaaba. You're facing the Kaaba. If you're standing right in front of it, then obviously to deviate from it would be a deliberate flouting of the convention. But let's say you're away from it. You cannot see it visibly. You just have an idea it's in this rough direction. Well, it's enough to face that rough direction. To the extent that it is mentioned that when the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, moved away from Mecca to another city, to Yathrib, which then came to be called Madinatun Nabi, the city of the Prophet, now simply Medina for short. This is like a few hundred kilometers away. So he told his companions that the Kaaba is between the east and the west. Well, it's basically south, and south is, for them, between the east and the west. Mm-hmm. But that means he gave a very wide latitude. So you face anywhere between the east and the west, you basically considered to be facing towards the Kaaba. And to make it more specific would have been too much of a burden on people at the time. You always have to be calculating wherever is the precise south for the Kaaba.
What about the fact that nowadays we do have, compasses and measurements, and we can actually calculate exactly to the degree where the Kaaba is located from any location that we are on?
Yes, even if you follow a compass with a needle pointing fixedly at in a certain direction, that does not mean that when you stand you will be right exactly on that needle. And if you're off by just a degree, you've missed the Kaaba by a mile, being, of course, that we're so many thousands of miles away from it. So once the trajectory is traced, your needle will be pointing in one direction and you will be pointing in a very different direction. So the precision is not what is demanded. What is demanded is the intention and reasonable actions in conformity with that intention. So you intend to face the Kaaba and you're doing what is reasonable for your circumstance. Yes, you have a compass, so you use it. You didn't have a compass, you're not required to have one. You just do the best you can. Sometimes you use the position of the sun as a guide, the way the shadow is cast as a guide. You have a general sense of which is east and west, where is north and south, and you know where the Kaaba is located in reference to us. Even when we're on Earth, there are questions about, do you face the Kaaba based on a flat map scenario or based on the spherical shape of the Earth? Mm-hmm. If you go based on a flat map scenario, then from Toronto, Mecca is towards the southeast, and you would have to face a southeasterly direction. But if you think about the shortest distance between any 2 points on the globe, the shortest distance is that which falls on what astronomers call a great circle. And that is seen when we hold a string, let's say from Toronto, and hold it taut and let it reach Mecca. You will see it goes actually in a northern direction first before it starts to go south. So most of us would then face a northeasterly direction from Toronto.
We'll have to leave it there. Thank you, Dr. Shabir Ali.
You're welcome.
That's all the time we have. Visit our website, QuranSpeaks.com, and check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/QuranSpeaks. Please write and email us. Your comments and questions are important. I'm Safia Ali. For all of us here at Let the Quran Speak, thank you for watching. I'll see you next week.